Oh, you just want to come see me? You coming in or what? Come on. Is you coming or is you going? You want to come in? Okay, go. See you later. That was just the cat. Let me open this one. I'm just burning some sage. Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in New York City? So, today's topic. I've been procrastinating. Let me actually get my light going too. Hold on. But they've got planes and trains and cars. I walk to you if I had no other way. All right. So, that should be sufficient. Anywho, hey there. So, like I said, I've probably procrastinated for a while, but I do have anxiety. That's one thing, okay? So, give me a moment. Sometimes I have to catch my breath. You know, I'm a smoker too, so breath be like. So, hello. My handle is Lonely Stoner. My name is Tana. Okay, for those of you who are curious to know, that's just a little nickname because I'm still not quite yet completely comfortable sharing my full name. Anywho, point being though, um, yeah. So I have experiences with depression and anxiety, but I really wanted to focus on today is how society plays a part in either hindering or aiding to mental health. So, with that being said, I guess I'm pretty much a rambler. I don't really have like any notes set out. That probably would be a good idea. So I could start taking notes on the categories that I want to discuss. So that was another thing that held me back and kept me procrastinating because when you have a lot of thoughts about a lot of topics, it's hard to like focus in, you know? So, anywho, my kids are home currently, so I'm gonna have to, you know, make do with them as I do this video. But yeah, I just felt like it was time to, well, I know it's been time for me to share my stories and my wisdom, you know, my lessons, and just share myself, I guess, in a sense, with the world, and not always completely comfortable doing that. Like I said, because as a child, I was very, how do you say, outgoing. I didn't mind putting myself out there. I liked it to be on stage. I love theater. I love performance. Hold on. Yes. Huh? What? What? You hungry? Okay, close the door. I'm gonna fix you something to eat. Close the door. Go get a banana. Eat a banana for now. But yeah. So when I was younger, I was. I'm in my mind thinking about how I need to tell the kids, I'm busy, okay, but if they open the door again, then I'll let them know. But yeah, when I was younger, I was outgoing, very, spontaneous. I did stay to myself during high school. Even when I was younger than that, I grew up with a few different siblings. I had two brothers in the home with me, one stepbrother, one biological at the time. But I was the only girl, so you know how that goes. Obviously, I spent a lot of time to myself. But like I said, fast forward, I enjoy doing plays and performing. Performing arts. I remember in high school, I made it a point to pick a particular school in my city that was having classes for performance arts. Though um, when the first high school year, they didn't have any classes for it. But the sophomore year, they developed a drama program. So I said, okay, cool. I'm thinking like, okay, Shakespeare drama, like we're going to actually be able to perform. Nope, we read from a book. It was cool though because my poetry teacher, I think her name is LaPert. Wait, Pert, any Mrs. Pert or something. Yeah. But point being though, she was real like down to earth. She real cool. I wish I probably could even have a conversation with her now, Lord. But anywho, point being is that during that time, I probably was like 15. They're doing some type of work out there. Distractions. But yeah, during that time I was about like 15. And so I we had somebody come into the class and they were that's distracting. But anyway, we had someone come to our class and they were discussing how they were an actor and they had some success on a movie. I won't name the movie, but I felt as though like I don't want to be a struggling artist, and you telling me like you was on that movie and you still like why would you still be in this city? I was just feeling like I guess I felt like pressured by like also the thought of having to go to auditions, you know. So that was a thing too. That put some pressure on me, and I was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. So I still was interested, so I still, entertained. It's called musical theater. So as the years progressed, uh, junior year, senior year, we had musical theater option. So, that's just to say, how I didn't mind being a performer. Like I actually had, what's funny is that I won the Shakespeare competition. I won a singing competition. It was opera. This was high school years. And then it was something like about an accomplishment I was going to say. But oh yeah, how I had the leading role, in one of the plays we did. The other play, I'm trying to think. I forgot who I played in the looking. We did Looking Glass, and I don't remember my part in that one. But I remember my part in the one that we did about the because I was the talk show host for the fairies and like the fucking fairy tales. Excuse my language, it's big, okay. But yeah, I was a talk show with all the fairy tales and it was like a little silly, witty type of play. We had fun with that. But I would love to see that like my personality at that age because now I'm like all in a shell. But Yeah, so I did deal with some, traumas that I'll probably, like I said, make stories about. So I don't want to get too deep into those right now because I'm trying to just give you some background, enough background to fill you in on why we're getting into the topic. So I've already experienced, some trauma during the high school years in relation to molestation. But I was able to still be of strong mind and try to be forgiving and in some way understanding. So with that said, like I continued on my life, being loving and like I said, understanding and forgiving. Um, as I got older, you start to build relationships with certain people that might not be uh, of your best interest until you don't find that out into hindsight. But the point being is that like that helps to mold you into who you are today. So like I said, I had a best friend at the time when I was 17. My best friend from high school. We were friends for a couple years. But point being there is that I was sociable, but I kept to myself because after school I never went out. You know, I never wanted to go party. I wanted a husband. I've always wanted a husband. So I wasn't trying to be out here in these streets. I mean, that's just not what I wanted to do. And so I guess I'll probably just be at home, like with an animal, or I don't know what the hell I was doing at that time, or my best friend. But anywho, so fast forward a few years after 17, I'm 19 now. I have to get 18. I got my own apartment. So I was working. I was out of the house when I was 15. So I was working. So because the friends and peers that I had were able to still have their parents to like support them financially, I didn't really hang out often. So I would be at work. They would pull up on me or whatnot, like, "Hey, what's up with you, girl?" But I'm stuck at work, man. I gotta get this money. I gotta pay these bills. That's just the difference in what I need to take care of versus like, just understand like they got different responsibilities and they got more money to play with. Okay, hold on just a second. Give me a minute. What TV is working for? Me know that TV. I know that TV don't work. Come watch this. Watch it here. You guys, come on. Aiden, you gotta let Kyrie watch TV now. Okay, Aiden, open this. You give back the remote. Put it in the remote. Hey, you guys, give me some time, okay? You be quiet out here, okay? Mommy gonna go to the room. You gotta be quiet, okay? Do you hear me? All right, now let me hear you cut it up. All right. So I'm glad that I have some sense of peace of mind right now because Lord, sometimes I can get overwhelmed. But and I'll forget like where my place was because I'll. That's why I'm trying to like stay focused with like a timeline on the story and how it builds. But anywho, so like I said, so 19, I'm still getting this money. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking care of my responsibilities. Uh, but I got sick. So during that period of getting sick, I had to rely on a family member for a couple months, which didn't really turn out so well. So then I went to stay back with my mom, which was not the most comfortable situation, but I had no other option at that moment. Outside of that, after that, I left from my mom's house to go to a shelter. From the shelter, I left to go to a friend's house. From my friend's house, I left to go to, and this was over the course of like, I think I spent about 6 months at my friend's house. Then I ended up building a relationship, and we fast forward. So that's in the course of a year and a half. So now I'm like 20, and I'm in a relationship after like, and like I said, if you stay tuned to my channel, I'll fill you in on these stories of my life. Um, but anyway, I'm just trying to get you to see like when and where I started to notice my mental health and how important it was. So as I turned 21, I recognized that I was impregnated. Impregnated. Who can believe this? So with that being said, me and my guy at the time decided that it was time to tell his family because I wasn't really much associated with my family at the time. I talked to my mom often, but I didn't have a lot of family, so me and my brother didn't really hang out often. Um, so, I talked to my mom pretty much like every day, but our relationship still had, everybody has his things, but that was like my confidant. That was shit, in a sense, a best friend, but I never thought of it like that because I just, she's my mom. But anywho, so, hold on just a second. I don't know if I'm going to have to start editing videos. But anywho, it is what it is. But so, I'm 21 now, I'm pregnant. That's cool. I feel like that's an accomplishment. I mean, for the black community or just in general, like in the hood, because most of the time, like a lot of people, like I said, not simply just the black community, but I am black and I live in a black community. So usually it's some type of like underlying subconscious of like, we have to have a baby before 25 or something. I don't know why. I don't know why we think that way, but anywho, I knew I was happy not to have a teen pregnancy. So I was very responsible. I was a very responsible child, yes. Um, so you, okay, have my baby. Now I'm letting my baby daddy know, like, hey, we can't just be shacking up in this room because, we finna have like a whole family. It's not gonna get too, it ain't gonna be comfortable for too much longer. Not only are we in the room, but we're also here with one, two, three, four other family members. That's like 6 people in the house plus a child on the way. Oh God, that was just a lot of people. It was cool at the time because it was all right. It wasn't totally horrible, but that's because I stayed to myself. I'm not gonna be sitting up in. I don't care even if we live together. I don't need to sit up in your face. It's okay, like when you all really like cool and tight, and y'all can really hang out. But I like to stay. Do like my alone time, I guess. But anywho, so after having my child, I'm wanting to build stability. So I purchased a vehicle and decided to move into an apartment. And this was, my kid was about 6 months at the time, okay? So obviously, when you move, you're going to move your man with you, you know? So I started to notice, though, before moving, that I was having, some emotions, wavering emotions. And I do remember having to call, the hotline to gain some understanding because, like I told you, I didn't really have much of a support system. Um, and calling the hotline for me at the time, I didn't feel like it was sufficient because it was like a 10 or 15-minute conversation. It was kind of very vague and very surface level. Obviously, they're asking you, what's making you feel this way, whatever. Um, but I think I was at the time probably just overwhelmed by like, you know, the pressure of having a newborn and not knowing what to do with those emotions, especially like if their dad is at work all day and I don't want to talk to like other people about your business, especially like if you're emotional, because it's kind of like frowned upon um, to be having those type of unbalanced emotions. Um, so after moving, I also began to recognize this was 2015. So I did begin to recognize like I was understanding religion differently. I was considered a Christian younger. I went to church here and there. Me and my brothers would make it a habit of going to a church in our neighborhood. But we weren't like fully committed. But as I started to have, the shifting of emotions and understanding and coming across certain things that I probably mentioned later on, but just some things that you recognize that religion can be kind of conforming and restraining to your understanding. And not only religion, though, I started to recognize the world. Oh my God. Oh my God. I started to recognize the world. Oh my gosh. And I think I was feeling so strong. See, now I'm remembering because I was feeling so strongly and so passionate about like survival skills. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh, I was just like, we need to prepare. We need to just be prepared. Like, like not I don't know if anything's gonna happen, but I do know that if something was to pop off, we are too damn dependent on the system. I know that for sure. Okay. Shit. Okay. So I was just feeling like not only the system, but like I said, spiritually, I was gaining new understandings and having this like I just felt fooled and tricked. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that you know ain't everything that you know. This is causing me a little anxiety now because like I'm feeling what I felt, like kind of in a way because I used to be so very passionate about some topics, and so with that said, I began to, do research. You know how you go into your research. You go into the rabbit hole like, oh my gosh. You learn about the good, you learn about you learn about some things that ain't what they are, they say they are. And it started to feel like a mind. You know what I'm saying? I was just feeling like mind like what? Even it was just like I said, like religion, spirituality, the way of the world as we know it. This is not something's not right here. But I think I was really resonating with the pain of the world too, and recognizing how we didn't really have a lot of like kindness. So in my personal life, I would try to have conversations with people during this time where I'm going through my transition of pregnancy. At the time, I did tell you I had a best friend. So, my best friend was still in a different type of lifestyle. My best friend liked to go hang out, go to clubs and party all night. And, I'm developing a family. So I can't party, nor have I ever really been partying all night like that. But, I don't went out a couple of times to like gay clubs or not. But point being though, it's like, I remember being called one night at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And my friend calling me because they got into a fight at the club. And I'm pregnant, but I'm like, what? I'm like, oh no, I wasn't gonna fight. But I'm going to see about my friend, you know what I'm saying? Like first of all, I was mad because he had friends with him. It was like that type of like entourage where me and him was close because I didn't feel the need to have to like prove myself because obviously he was the one that got all the attention. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't give a fuck about the attention. Everybody going, like I said, he got his entourage. But me, I'm the best friend. Like I didn't feel like I had to prove myself, shit, whatever. Point being though, I just feel like why you got these people with you and these motherfuckers just standing around when you was fighting. But okay. So anywho, long story short, me and that friend kind of grew apart because the friend ended up moving to another state for a while. And they had like a get together, and I wasn't invited. I was a little offended because the get together was like around my birthday too. So it's like, I talked to my friend and I said, I think that, we need to have a conversation about like what's going like our friendship. At the time, how if I'm 21, 22, yeah, probably 22 because again, when I had my kid, I think I turned 22. So this friend was about, either 21 or like 20, maybe 20-ish. So point being, I'm trying to like come cordially, like, hey, we need to, because like I said, they're in another state. So I'm like, hey, we need to discuss our relationship. We kind of been drifting apart. Um, and the person's like, ain't nothing need to be said or something like that. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know it was an issue, but I ain't gonna make it no issue either. Right by. Okay. I mean, it really hurt though, because that was a friend of like 3 years. So that was also a mind loop, so it's like confusing to try to resonate with people who prefer to not understand, and you get it, you can't control people, so you forgive people. Um, and at the time, yeah, so I'm still like not understanding. Like, why would my friend do that to me? Like, well, he just kind of like pretty much just said we're not friends. Like, how could you say that? But anywho, let's move forward, right? So these social um, situations that were happening, even with a situation in particular, when I would voice my opinion on the molestation, it's hard for me to say it, and, because I don't speak about these things often. But, when I would mention it to my mom, she said, if it did happen, if it did happen, if it did happen for years, and that would, I finally built up the courage to kind of let her know, well, because it happened when I was 15. So for her to still be saying if it did happen at the age of 21, 22, nope, 22, 23, you know what I'm saying? Like, even like, why do you keep saying that? Because you're not, that's invalidating to your child, But that's another social example of what I'm trying to, pull all of this together in. And I hope that the children aren't too distracted in the background. I see that I'm really not talking that loud, so I do apologize if you can't really hear. But like I said, I'm going to get to how I developed and how I understood these, mental health situations, and then I can then explain what they are, and we'll get into some details. So yeah, so now, as I'm like learning all this new stuff about like how the world works and how, your body works and chakras and hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Hey, didn't I tell y'all to sit down? Have a seat. All right. So like I said, I am going to start to prepare better times and notes and things like that so that maybe I'll just record when the kids are sleeping. Take a nap. It's time for a nap. Keep it on schedule. All right. So yeah, so I'm like learning all these new things about spirituality, because I'm breaking my mode of and my understanding of what religion was, and how I never really resonated with conforming so much so to a religion. You know what I'm saying? Like mindlessly, because I wanted to know why. Like even when I was younger and we would go to the church, I kept asking like our pastor, like, I need details. I've always been very inquisitive, inquisitive, so I need details. But pastor didn't give a lot of details. It's pretty much like guilt. You'll get guilt shamed or something like that. Like, from the explanation of the Bible, like, don't ask no questions. Just, it is what it is. What? Hold on, wait a minute. Anywho, so yeah, like I said, so I started to develop my own understanding of what like religion or spirituality is, and I became like so like filled with love and light and peace and gratitude and joy. La 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 la. You know, oh my gosh, it was just liberating. Because I just, oh my gosh, the birdie. So anywho, and I saw a butterfly earlier today when I was watering the garden. Mhm. But anywho, so look, I was just so much filled with joy, and I was a very optimistic. And mind you, I'm still in a relationship, so I'm like trying to do the best I can to be like the best I can as a girlfriend. But I am still kind of emotional because I think I was still dealing with postpartum depression. So being that my partner didn't understand depression, it could have maybe even, had maybe some effect on him to kind of see me sad all the time. And he didn't understand like what the hell or why she always damn crying or she always doing this. Give me strength and give me peace. Ooh. I think I'm having like a little bit of anxiety because I do keep most of my life private. So um, being so candid publicly, it's different for me to speak up. But anywho, so not only am I having all this joy and gratitude, but I'm also having like I'm getting upset, you guys. I'm getting so upset with the system and how the way of the world is and how people can be, like, I wasn't really so understanding of the manipulation at that time, but I was learning that the world, like I said, if they can deceive us in this way, then how can we trust anything? Like I just don't get it. So, okay, think I'm going to tell them to lay down and take a nap because they're doing. You guys want to take a nap? Okay, didn't I say sit down and be quiet? Go sit down and be quiet. Be quiet. Anywho, so yeah, like socially, again, at this time, I'm kind of like in hermit mode. So during the course of like 2016, 2017, I'm kind of like in hermit mode because I'm going through the processes of emotions. I'm at home with the kids all day. Well, sorry, I didn't tell you. Hold on. So 2015, like I just told you, we moved out of his family home, my child's father's family home, into my apartment. We stayed there for 2015, and then in 2016 I discovered that I was pregnant. Well, actually we found out in 2015, so I had my child September 2016, right? But like I said, during this no wonder why I was so damn emotional, because I was dealing with postpartum, then I got pregnant again, dealing with a newborn. Lord help me, still trying to build like the family foundation, because mind you, before that, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't trying to tell my whole life story, but before that, when I was living alone during the 18, 19, I did have a boyfriend that was abusive. Okay. So they're going to like a little pin that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll make another video someday. So, now that this boyfriend that I have, he's not abusive, but he's just kind of like complacent, like he's okay with the mundane. And I'm not material girl at all. I'm real simplistic, real down to earth. But like I said, I was always trying to establish a family foundation. So that's why, like, when I was 18, 19, I had moved into my first apartment, well, my second apartment, but this was the first one that I was paying for. So my mom got me an apartment when I was 15. Anywho, so the guy, he was like I said, he was point being though, what I'm not trying to get at, because I kind of forgot my train of thought there. But yeah, building the family foundation. Like I've always, so that's why I allowed the man to, come into my home, and you try to make them comfortable and let them know, like, I ain't judging shit. This is what I got. I'm willing to share. You know, this person, he was kind in the beginning. Yes, of course. And I trusted him because it was my best friend's friend. My best friend said that that's how I met him. It's through my best friend. They said, it was, oh, I know him. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what kind of like leads you into kind of trusting them. And come to find out, what's so fucked up is that later on down the line, I learned that my best friend was kind of had some tendencies, I'll say. And no wonder why. Of course, he would vouch for this person. Maybe not knowingly, but like they're associated. So obviously, God damn it. God fucking damn it. But even it's not even their fault. It's just the cycle of an empath. I guess I just, as an empath, you have to be mindful. So listen, during that course, to remind you that, let me also pinpoint that I was dealing with this person from the course of 16 and about 19, 20-ish. Because anytime, you know how you have like a little buddy that you hook up with whenever you're not in a relationship. If you is in a relationship, like, don't call me. If I'm with somebody, I ain't gonna call you. But yeah, so as I was building my relationship with my baby daddy, at the time I was very proper. So I like to say my child's father. I don't have a baby daddy. I'm 20 and I'm not gonna be a baby mama, okay? My child's father. But yeah, so I was telling that dude, like the fling guy, we can't fling no more. So, I had to cut him off because he wasn't serious no way. That's why I had to cut his ass off. Every time you try to, like, is he serious or not? Motherfuckers don't want to have a conversation. They avoid conversations. That's the best thing. I should have, damn, I'm noticing now, shit clicking. Like I said, hindsight. But yeah, okay, so 2016, like I said, I'm pregnant too. But during this time, I find out that I had a dream that my guy was on the bus with some girl and her name started with a C. And I'm like, it was just so crazy how like I could see the dream. They're on the bus. She's sitting next to the window. He's sitting obviously, outside. But point being is that something said that her name started with a C. And I ignored it because I felt like, it's a dream. I'm not going. I don't be tripping. I don't trip. I'm not a tripper. I'm a discusser. Like, let's discuss it. What's going on? Like, let me help me understand. Maybe we can work through this. Look at that. So I didn't even bring it up. But at the family house, I remember his uncle telling him something about how you gotta handle something, or about a woman, like how to keep your woman under your control or some shit. I don't know. But I do remember thinking about that again. And for some reason, one day, a text come through. Like I'm thinking we're trying to, like I said, I'm trying to establish a foundation where the kids don't have to wait all night for their dad to come home. And I know how it is in the hood. Like you can't always expect for the guy to come home at a proper time. But me wanting that proper type of family, I was trying to establish certain standards, like if you can make it home by 6, 7 o'clock, maybe even 8, to see the kids before they go to sleep, because if the kids are with me all day and you're at work all day, and by the time you get home, it's 11, 12 o'clock, they ain't seen you, they ain't really had no time with you. They don't know you. Baby. So I think before I had the baby, I can't remember though, but I know that he ended up, there was some evidence because the phone, it was a text message. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. He would get up to go to work. Okay. Things are coming back to me as I talk. So he would get up to go to work. And there was a text message that came through like 6 o'clock in the morning. talking about some good morning. And I'm like, how I knew this was, you know how you just get up, like when your person get up sometime? And I didn't do this all the time, but someone just told me to get up that day. Something told me to get up. So I walk to the kitchen, and like I said, lo and behold, as soon as I get in there, it goes buzz. And I'm like, buzz? Good morning. Good morning. Who the fuck is this? Good morning. You know? It just say GM. But point being, it's like, why would you be getting this type of message? And I'm actually surprised because I remember asking God, like, for a family type of guy. So when I met him, I wasn't really that interested. I just kind of felt like he seemed like the safest option. He wasn't going to hit me. He had family, so I felt like my kids would have a family foundation. You know, they would have support and sit, you know, like, you know, other family, you know. Um, and he was showing that he was loving, right? Kind hearted. So I felt like this could be somebody I could build a family with, you know? Um, so yeah, like I guess he didn't really understand the concept of family because he's always lived with his family, so he didn't know how to establish a foundation outside of what's been provided for him. So now you've got somebody, you know, disrespecting you. Um, and I was hurt, obviously. But, you know, I just, you know, I think took some time for him to stay out the house. Or he actually made a decision to leave, I think. Yeah, he did. He made it. He was like, well, I'm going to leave then, whatever. Because I kind of confronted him about, like, what's going on. Like, we already had this discussion before. I remember telling him, like, if you ever feel the need, because you know how you, like, if you've been hurt before, you want to kind of like lay your shit down. Like, hey, if you ever feel the need, like, if you want, not saying that I was going to approve of it, but what I'm saying is, like, letting me know if you ever have an urge to go outside the relationship because we can discuss it. And mind you, I'm like 20, I'm 21, 22, 22 at the time having this type of discussion. Like, if you want, we can discuss, you know, if you have any other desires. But you know, I'm trying to be honest and open and have conversation. Every time I would try to have a conversation, I swear it went over his head. It went so far over his head, like he literally would never have anything to like feed back into the conversation. And I started to recognize that I really didn't want this person. I started to recognize that I not only was a sex life doll because I was already people pleasing in that department. It started off good when I was young, you know, when we were young, but yeah, something about that just like I think he felt intimidated. Um, and so with him feeling intimidated, it was just like, yeah, I don't know. But anywho, I just started to recognize like I wasn't as satisfied as I thought. And I couldn't hold on to the facade of having like the family. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always wanted the family, but I don't think that I'm going to be completely satisfied with this type of man who's not very assertive, who's not very protective, who is also disrespecting me, not even kind of who did disrespect me. And I said kind of because I'm trying to give benefit of doubt because he's a good person. You know, he's a nicer person than the person that might hit you. But this person is still, you know, immature. And this person is easily persuaded, you know, by other people, you know. So during the course of our relationship, we would have issues because his family might get in his ear and they might not agree with how I would like to parent, you know, which was not their choice because I am the kid's mother. So, you know, if I asked you not to feed the kids, like, you know, how people will stuff the kids and I'm trying to make my kids healthy. And I get it, you know, your grandma, you want to feed the kids, but, you know, try to do it in moderation. Like they shouldn't be eating chips and soda all day because I'm trying to establish, you know, new, healthier habits, you know, for me and my family. Um, And then I would also let the family member know too, like, okay, if you guys ever want to talk to me, feel free to reach out. I mean, we can have a conversation. Don't have to always be this the family against me for like what reason? I never understood it. Like, what the heck? I guess. But oh, maybe because like I was trying to help him grow up, and they didn't want him to really grow up. I guess. But anyway, because people were very codependent on him too. Like I noticed that like he was kind of like their rock. So he was the one that had more sense out of all of them. Oh my God, that's the sad part about it. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. That revelation right there. He was the one that had more sense out of his family. So for that, I mean, I know his sister had a lot of sense too, but then they still shit is just crazy. So anyhow, I did make a decision to try to repair the relationship after um, him leaving the home. And so I let him come back after a few months or something like that. But with that being said, I spent some time alone with me and my second child. So it was just me and my second child for a while because during the time I wasn't letting him come to my house, he was, trying to, how you try to check in on you. It's still, a relationship, so it's like hard to let go. But at the same time, he wasn't checking in how he had should have, with me and the child having like fevers and still going to appointments and things like that, and me having to handle everything, like being the only responsible party, even in the bill department. And that wasn't for the pick me type of girl, because I'm never the type of girl. I'm not giving no nigga no money, okay? But I'm damn sure gonna make sure that my house is taken care of with or without a nigga in it. Okay, so that's just it. So with or without this nigga, I'm gonna make sure my shit is taken care of. Regardless, is like of course you have expectations as a woman, but at the time I was trying to be lenient and understanding and be that woman that the men said that they wanted. They didn't want women that complained. They wanted women who wouldn't yell at them. So I was just like, I ain't gonna yell at you. We can talk about it. I ain't gonna ask you for nothing. I ain't asking you for no food. I ain't asking you for no money because I don't need it. If I ain't got it, shit, I guess I don't need it. I ain't asking you to bring shit. I ain't asking you for nothing. So I think that was I don't know if that's a fault or a flaw. I feel like shit. I ain't gotta ask nobody for shit. I just feel like if you want to be there, you're gonna be there and you're gonna show up. If you want to show up, you're gonna show up. That's how I still see it. I feel like I don't want to ask for nothing. I ain't gonna lie. I don't feel like I should have to ask. But they say closed mouths don't get fed. But what I'm saying is that a man knows how to treat a woman. So a man ain't gonna constantly keep asking like, "What you need, baby? What you need? What you need, baby? What you need?" He gonna just do for you. He know you need to eat, motherfucker. If you don't know nothing else, you know I need to eat and I need some money. The fuck? Because the money, it ain't about tricking on a woman. It's about being able to provide and show the woman that you don't have to do it all by yourself. But men don't understand that concept. You can't even ask a man for $20. So anywho, the relation with society and mental health. As I was going through my battles, and like I said, I allowed my kid's father to come back. I started to look into. I was seeking counseling because I got to a point where I was just like, you know what, I cannot handle this shit on my own. I can't handle it on my own. And I was seeking counseling, and I went to one counselor who I felt as though the counselor was very vague, very kind of like it felt like they were just there to kind of get paid. I don't know if it was a good day or a bad day, but it was a male, was not the same race as me. It was a different race. But point being is that there was no connection, and I felt like I was just kind of like talking and it was falling. So I didn't go back. No, definitely didn't go back there. But that was a struggle because dealing with so long this mental health that nobody understands, no matter how you explain it. The only person I was talking to at the time was my mom, because my best friend decided not to be a friend anymore. And my kid's father will be at work, probably flirting with girls. or he's the type of guy that don't get a lot of attention. So they'll, how they'll like milk any type of attention they get, so they think that somebody actually still wants them. But it's pathetic. It is really pathetic. But anywho, we're young. Okay. So how I found out about the other girl is that it was a number. I had did some type of search on a number. And when I came across the girl name, the number in the name actually linked the fuck up. I forgot how Google fucking showed me that shit. You know what I'm saying? Google ain't God. God will lead you to it, okay? Because while he was at work, I was still doing research because motherfucker, I'm trying to put all the pieces together. Like, how the fuck did this happen? So the name matched up with a girl that he always would come home telling me about. This new bitch at work. And how she a hoe and she this and she be doing that and this. And how he not interested. Because he don't like those type of bitches. You already know when you listen to a man, like, okay. So you wouldn't let her suck you? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Guess the fuck what? Lies you tell. Come to find out, he confirmed that, yeah, he was talking to her. Okay, cool. So fast forward, maybe like a month later, not even, maybe a couple weeks later. Like I said, I just let the dude back in the house. Here go a message while he's sleeping, talking about some. This is in the morning, like maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. You gonna let me ride it again or some shit? Bitch, what? Lord always gives me the strength. Lord always gives me the strength to think before I act. Amen to that. He always gives, thank God. Let's really, like seriously, that's a gift. I've always been able to think before I act. I wonder what that's called. Like, I swear to God. Because I think I might have just threw the phone on the bed at him. Excuse me, the fuck? So who the fuck is this one? You know what I'm saying? You trying to be all nice on the phone, like, call the bitch. If it's nothing serious, if it's nothing serious, she playing. Okay, we'll call her and tell her, like, that's not appropriate. I'm in a relationship. Like, what the fuck? Have some respect for me. You know what I'm saying? Show where your loyalty lies. No, couldn't do that. Okay. What's the name? The name this time. I didn't mention the first name because it's kind of irrelevant at this moment. I might mention it in another video because it's so funny how life has its way of circling back around. But mind you, that first bitch that he was fucking off with, come to find out, that bitch was in my inbox when I was a child. When I was a child, like 16. So mind you, I'm like 22 now. I'm trying to build my family. So this bitch was in my inbox at like 16 trying to figure out like where her nigga was at, I guess. Because me, maybe I was a little naive because I'm not in the loop of all this hood ghetto shit. I just mind my business. So if I hang out with a guy, I already let the dude know, like, I don't want anybody that's in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? We mentioned that already. I don't mess with nobody that's in a relationship. But if your guy lied, bitch, why are you trying to figure out like what this nigga do? I don't fucking know, bitch. I ain't got no claims on no nigga. I'm letting her know that. Like, look, I don't give a fuck what a nigga got to do. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I don't really fuck with him. He don't come over here that often. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, But I couldn't believe that this was the same bitch that was in my inbox. So it make you think like, damn, was this bitch really holding a grudge that long? You know what I'm saying? Like, people really, I don't know. But that is so weird, right? It's so weird how it was the same bitch that was in my inbox, in hindsight, recognizing that she was asking about a nigga. Because as I was typing, I'm not understanding that this is like a send-off bitch trying to get some information. You know how in the hood, they going to send a bitch to try to get some information. If it wasn't her nigga, maybe it was a friend nigga, but obviously it had to be her nigga because she took it personal. I don't know which nigga. I still don't know which nigga. I wish I would know, like, damn, bitch, why couldn't you have told me? What happened? Shit, I don't know your nigga. Is you mad? Maybe your nigga always was talking about me then. Bitch, because I don't know. Shit. It ain't my fault. Damn. So, anywho, come to find out her name actually started with a C. Come to find out they took a trip on the bus to her house on the south side. Isn't that interesting? You guys are riding the bus together. You must really like this girl, or you were going to get some pussy, huh? Come to find out you guys were grinding, but you didn't put it in. Fuck out of here. Who's stupid? But like I said, me being like, okay, like I said, we're young. I'm trying to be understanding and forgiving. Understanding and forgiving. Um, Fast forward, like I said, I think that he was getting some bad advice from his family because he would try to charge me, which is like, you know, how men do like, and try to get all in your face and try to like become physical. And like I told you before, because I've had a history of people trying to be physical with me, I no longer accept that bullshit. So if you're going to charge me, then don't come in this area. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Because I'm going to have to sit you down, sir, ma'am, or whoever the fuck. So, I had to show him a few times that you're not going to tussle with me, or nor you're going to put your hands on me. And like I told you before, this guy, he's not necessarily aggressive, but he was misled, you know, maybe by some bad advice, like trying to gain control of your woman type stupid ass advice. That ain't the way to do it, sir. Nor is the way to do it with me. Okay. Not this day. Not today. Especially after, you know what, anyway. So, you know, that relationship obviously kind of started to, I wouldn't say fall downhill because it's just slowly dissipated because, you know, my interest in him was kind of like withdrawing and I was recognizing how I do really want more of a man. Mentally, physically, spiritually, you know, all of that need. Emotionally. Whew, you know, yes. And he was kind of timid, like he didn't want to do certain, but anyway, you get what I'm saying? Like, you want to be fulfilled, okay? Um, so outside of that, though, it was also, I, after leaving that relationship, I did take some time to be alone. You know, I was obviously in my own apartment. I got 2 kids now, no daycare, just me and the kids. Um, but, excuse me. I fast forward 2018. So this was, like I said, 2016, 2017. That shit was rough because I'm like still going through, like I said, depression. I'm looking at plenty of videos about spirituality again. I started to get into card readings and things like that. I'm like, wow, you know, my mind was just opening. And I also started to feel a need to like have my desires met and like just have some more fun with life. So I reached out to the old friend, my little flunk, what we call them thing, flings? My flink, my flunk. Look, my mind is slipping on me. So I get back in touch with this dude in 2018, and we start doing our thing. I start going over his little basement because he's staying in his mama's basement at the time, and I ain't care because I'm just here for some business, okay? So we handle our business, and I started to peep game. Like when it's over, you be like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that all right, bet mentality. Like this ain't about emotions. Okay, cool. But we can have our little banter, you know, how you text and you goof off and it's like ha ha he he whatever. But yeah, we had a really like corny, like understanding relationship. Though it was like not the most, it wasn't necessarily toxic, but it was still like how you say like dark humor. It was dark humor type of relationship because we was just like fuck buddies, you know, or excuse me, fling buddies. We were fling buddies. Point being though, I allowed myself to build more emotions for this person because honestly, this was always the person that I always had feelings for because the energy that he carried was just like I was attracted to the energy of like he had assertiveness and he was persistent in his work. Like he always constantly was building himself from what he told me, right? It seemed like he had ambition, to want more and do more. And he seemed as though he would be, once again, a family man. I'm looking for the provider quality, not just simply money, but if you understand the role of a father figure, the enrichment that they can give the children, the qualities that this person has, well traveled, you know what I'm saying, well versed in business, those are type of qualities in a man that, a woman seeks for. So I was like, okay, we can't just do the fling no more. What's up? What's going on? He want to deny, deny any emotions, any feelings. He told me like, over the course of this year or two, 2018, the end of to about 2020, we're doing our thing, but he's letting me know like he don't have emotions, or he'll keep me on hang. Like let's say if we have a problem, he will never ever discuss the problem ever ever. So because I'm so understanding and so lenient, I would never like make it an issue. I'll be like, so we're gonna talk about our issue today or not. And so after a couple months, you start to feel like, what the fuck, hold up? It's been 3, 4 months. Like every time I bring this up, you never want to discuss it. That's not cool because it's like you like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You always bringing it up. I'm like, because you never want to discuss it. Like, of course, I'm gonna bring it up so we can discuss it, so we get to the bottom of it. Like, what? You never want to get to the bottom of it. What? Okay, well, we're not gonna do this no more then. Okay, well, we're not doing this no more then. Okay, then somebody got to hit each other up. You know what I'm saying? So you had that codependency too, where you know, either me or him, whoever didn't hit whoever up, we gonna make a way to see each other. It's so weird because I started to peep game too. Like you trying to play me and have me all in my feelings because like one time he told me to come over, but he stopped answering his phone. Okay, okay. Thank you. I'm gonna take notes. Come over. Oh, you called me. You think shit's sweet. Oh, I'm glad that you think that shit is still so sweet, baby. Come on through, baby. Come on through. Got you back. Yeah, didn't I get you back? He pulled up, and I was like watching because I was watching from my hallway. I was staying in an apartment, so I was watching from my hallway with the lights off, watching his ass pull up and look salty, calling my phone. I see you, baby. Not only did that happen, though, another situation happened. Oh, I can't even tell y'all that situation, but look, point being, though, like he was just starting to learn that I'm just as cutthroat. Like I could be just as cutthroat as you. So stop playing with me because I thought that you was really about this life, but you was just talking shit. And now that I'm showing you that I could get about that, you like, fuck, like what? Now it's he getting his ego. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna have to get back to them later. It is what it is. I just hope it ain't my brother, cause wouldn't say him. So he probably getting his ego right, cause he probably feel like, oh, this bitch ain't going. Like how men are like, he cool, he laid back. He ain't the type to put his hands on you, but he the mental type. He the mental type where you're not gonna have one up on him mentally, especially. Mentally, especially, you're not gonna have one up on him. That's how he feel. It's how he feel. Anywho, so like I said, I started to kind of like peep game, like damn, like I feel as though he, at the time I'm still feeling as though like he really genuinely cared, but he's so hurt by his life that he don't know how to express how he cared because his feelings are so numb, like he don't even know how to feel. And that's pretty much what he was saying too, like shit, he was diagnosed as some type of sociopath probably, something about not being able to feel emotional, whatever, but whatever. So that was a whole manipulative roller coaster. That was such a like I didn't even know that like I was in a sense being manipulated at the time. I mean, that's what make you really question everything too, like because it's like you question yourself. And not only were those relationships making me question myself, I was questioning myself about the friendship, about my best friend. Like, why would my best friend just cut me off randomly? Why is my, you know, kid's father cheating on me? What the fuck? I don't do nothing. I'm in the house. I'm taking care of your kids. What did I do? I wanted to talk to you. My mom is being very protective of whoever just the situation of the molestation. I didn't understand that. It was just very weird that you allow that to go on. And not only did that happen, I had to also make partings with my mother. And like I said, I'll explain that also later down the line. But I decided I was just cutting people the fuck off. The last person who got cut off was my mama because families got cut off, cousins got cut off because it was like no respect. Because anytime I would want to address something, everybody would make it seem like I'm fucking crazy. When I wanted to finally address, like, hey, I don't really like the way that you've been treating me. I don't really want to feel like I'm your lapdog or like I'm your call girl, anytime you need me to do something, I'm just, I'm very loving, I'm very kind, I'm very helping. So I want to be able to help. But I don't feel like these relationships are being very reciprocated. And so as I started to ask for more energy in return, people started to feel as though I was asking for fucking too much. Fucking bitch, how dare you? You've been my servant this whole time. How dare you ask for a helping hand? I'm like, damn, okay. Like, cousin, like, you always ask me to do your hair, wash your dishes, wash your kids. I kind of want my hair done now, after all these years. Do you know how to do hair? No? Oh, shit, damn. How does this benefit me? I think we need to have a conversation. We can't? Oh, you don't see your fault. Okay. No accountability. Okay. I can't continue this relationship. Yeah, I can't do that. So, and it's so sad when you have to realize that you got to cut everybody off. So, mind you, I end up getting back in contact with my ex best friend because I went to a store in our neighborhood and I find his uncle. And we were like, oh, hey, how you been? And I'm like, yeah, I really miss my friend, but I don't know why. He just told me one day that he ain't fucking with me like that. And I was just like, I didn't understand. It was like 2 years later. And so he was like, oh, yeah, that's messed up, but yeah, definitely, whatever. So, he must have, he called him and he reaches out and we reestablish our friendship. We build our friendship back up. And now, we buddies been about a year now, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even a little bit more. But I don't even know because I can't even really gauge that time frame. It probably wasn't even that long, honestly. So, but we are reestablishing our friendship. It probably was like a year. So at that point, we decide to take a trip for this person's, well, before the trip for the birthday, like I told you, I'm starting to develop spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm becoming in tune with like what they say about moon cycles. And I'm hearing about how like if you go out on this day, be careful because this could happen. And you don't really take things like that always seriously. You're just like, okay, you take like heed, but you're like, okay, whatever. So one day my friend comes over and like, I'm always in the house with my kids. Okay. I ain't got no babysitters. They don't go to daycare. I don't have no friends, no family, no people that actually will watch them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would do, sit in the house with the kids. Now, I forgot where the kids went this day because I did leave the house. But I don't know where the kids was at. Probably with their daddy though. Yeah, because I know grandma probably would like he might watch the kids at his grandma's. But that's the only person that I will leave my kids with is their father. So outside of that though, like I'm hanging out with my best friend and Aiden, hold on, I think I heard somebody. Who is that knocking? Is that you knocking on the table? Huh? Is that you knocking? Oh, okay. Yeah, don't open the door. But yeah. So at this time, I'm reestablishing my friendship, and I'm also like being cautious. But we were planning. Okay, so my friend comes over. We're going out this night because at first I was like, I was in the house, I was good. He was like, "You sure you don't want to go?" I'm like, I ain't got no money. I'm just be real with you. Like, I ain't got it, and I don't want to, like force myself because I didn't want to feel like, how some people want you to feel like you have to rely on them. And I didn't want to be that friend, especially that day. I was just like, I don't want to, I just want to be open about my situation. I ain't got it. So he was like, "You my friend. Like, shit's gonna be," he was like pretty much saying, like, "It's already paid for. Like, I'm gonna go anyway. Like, I gotta pay for it anyway to get there." So I was like, "Okay, all right." I was trying to be considerate, but he was like, "Shit, he got it." So I'm like, he was like reassured me that we friends. Like, you ain't what you tripping for. I'm like, okay. So, mind you, I told you about the spirituality and how during this night it said that the veil would be removed. It was like end of May. It was like the end of May. This type of full moon energy. So we go out, and mind you, he said that he was picking up another friend. So we go get his other friend, which was a girl. So we all go to this bar. Now he bought a drink for everybody, and then later on, like we were just kind of like bar hopping, like within the 2 block radius, and on the other bars, like I said, I'm very modest. I don't need any more drinks. I know I didn't bring no damn money. Y'all go ahead, go to the bar. I'm a dance, okay? I ain't gonna impose. I'm just enjoying myself. Um, so I'm enjoying myself, just dancing like a free spirit in the middle of the room. And then here comes this little lady, and she's dancing with me, and we're doing our little free spirit dance, and like, just oh my god, so much joy and so much light and so much energy. Hey girl, hey. Oh, she was like sunshine because she was older than me, obviously, more mature, about maybe 42. But point being though, like we really had a moment there. We were really connecting. And my friend, he pulled me away from her like he was embarrassed. That's how it seemed. And at the time, once again, I felt what it felt like, but I didn't understand. Like, what the heck? Like, why would my friend be embarrassed of me dancing with someone, But okay, so we left that club. So we go to one more club, and then after we're leaving that one, I think my friend drunk. Not think I know. So when we leave, and me and the girl, we walk a little bit ahead because he was talking to somebody that he was seeing. Like, oh hey, I told you that he like entourages people, like people that show attention. Like know everybody. So while he talking to him, he talking to. We just keep walking, and as we walking, this dude, he was saying like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for my people." He said that he started talking to us randomly, telling us about how, yeah, I'm just waiting for an old friend hit me up, and I'm curious because I was just hearing about the energy about how the veil is going to be removed and how this old friend that hit him up from the past, and I'm like, oh wow, really? Because it's kind of like resonating too, um, and so I'm just like really like in a moment, listen to this man talk about his friend. It was kind of like the situation was like a little sad because he's like they were hanging out, but for some reason his friend just like disappeared, like bailed on him. Like they haven't seen each other in years. You came to see me, we hanged out a little bit, and they just kind of like bailed and ditched me. Um, so while we were talking to dude, my friend comes over randomly and starts saying things like, "Is he gonna pay you for this conversation, you guys?" I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, I'm trying to like, make like calm down, like, it ain't that type of no, friend. What you doing? um, I'm, trying to apologize to the dude, like I'm sorry. I think he's just drunk, But then he kind of just kept getting belligerent, like he was getting the man face, and I'm like letting my friend know, like, hey, you can't, like, I'm just like, I'm on, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. chill out. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you tripping and you drunk, and there is some cops over here 2 feet away, maybe about like 50 feet away, but still, you're on probation because of the fight that you just had. Like, come on now. There was a whole other fight that I wasn't even a part of. This was a fight that I don't know where the fuck. But point being, you on probation, you shouldn't be fucking getting belligerent and drunk and picking battles, right? So he decided to put all his aggressions out on me. Like, you look like a clown. And because I wore blue lipstick that night, I was trying something different. And he was attacking me and telling me how my kid, I don't even know what he said about the kids, but it was just the fact that like he even said my kids. So as I'm listening, I'm just like, he said I'm jealous of him. So I know you ain't jealous of me. I'm like, you know how you just standing like we kind of like left field, totally baffled, totally confused, not understanding. Like I know it's personal though. I do know that for sure because I don't know where the fuck he getting all this from, right? So I'm like, look, I'm not going to entertain it. I'm not going to entertain this ignorance. That's what I don't do. So I'm like, look, we finna go. Is you ready to go or not? How you want to handle it? You know, because these obviously, like I just told you, the people right here. So we all getting to live. It's very uncomfortable because the girl telling him like, I can put in on it. I can put in on it if that's the problem. Because he was just snapping on both of us like, y'all bitches ain't got nothing. Like what the fuck? She like, I can put in on it. I can send you the money right now. He's trying to say how he good. He good. This is an uncomfortable ride. She get dropped off. I get dropped off because I'm done. I don't give a fuck because you already told me before I got here that I didn't have nothing to worry about. So for you to blow up like that, not only did you blow up, but you actually attacked me personally. So I'm already kind of knowing how you feel. So I'm already like I'm done with the situation. I ain't got shit to say. I ain't got shit to say. I'm not gonna entertain no drama. I'm gone. Shit. Take me on, period. Point blank, right? He knew this. So about 2 weeks later, mind you, I said this was us repairing our friendship. And I've always remember this is the same friend I stayed with back in the past. So we were very close, in high school. And so like, I've lived at his house before. So anywho, I kind of knew the dynamics of like how the household worked. So fast forward, like I said again, to where he comes back after like 2 weeks after like snapping out on me after this damn full moon or some shit. I'm like, okay. So he's taking accountability and he's being very straightforward. Like, yeah, I fucked up and I just want to let you know that I'm sorry I made you feel that way. And he took accountability. So like I said, I can respect that as an adult. You take accountability. We can move forward, and try to see, how we can move forward. Because we were already planning a trip. We'd already planned to go to fucking Vegas at the time. So I'm feeling as though like I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to go. But this was like a month. It was like 2 months before the trip. So he was getting annoyed because all of his so-called friends were starting to bail out. They didn't want to go to the trip. They didn't want to go. I don't know why. He was just having falling outs in his own life, is what I could see, you know what I'm saying? Because it looked like at the time it was just me and another friend that he had. And probably we're just like we were the nicest ones that he still had around him. Lord, and like when you can see shit from like the outside looking in, it's so sad. Because you could tell like why we were still around. Because we were the nicest ones. And honestly, like nice people are easier to kind of like just keep around for the meantime. I didn't want to say just use, but anywho, with that being said, I chose to forgive. I chose to take the higher road. And we did decide to still go on the trip. Long story short is that on the trip, this person decides to have a fit like the third day in. He first, like it was a Friday night. It was like the third day in because we left on like Tuesday or Wednesday. Point being is that Friday night he was tripping on his sister. Him and his sister kind of got into it. Um, he was annoyed that she didn't bring her shoes because obviously if you're in Vegas, you know that you're walking. If you're in Vegas, you know that you're going to be walking. But you still gotta have proper shoes when you go to like certain events because they're not gonna let you in if you're not dressed a certain way. So when we got to the venue, he was annoyed that she decided to leave her shoes at the at the hotel because then she couldn't get in. So she ended up leaving. She was like, "Well, I'm just gonna go back to the hotel." He was like, "Well, go then. Fuck you." And I'm like, "Oh Lord, me trying to be the people pleaser. Well, peacemaker and shit, play peacemaker and shit. Like, okay, first and foremost, I'm like, is you good? I'm making sure that sister is good. Like, shit, y'all sure? I'm like, come on, we can still have a good night, y'all. Like, well, come on, we can go somewhere else. We already said we was gonna go somewhere else. We already planned this, but nope, he couldn't let it go, and she said, "Fuck it." She was like, "Well, then, I'm just go back to the hotel then." So she left. We walking out. Or we walked back in. I think we actually decided to go back in because I felt as though like, okay, at this time it's my friend's birthday. I gotta be here to support my friend, and I'm gonna make sure that like I want to make sure that my friend have a good night. The fuck? So make sure sister good, like you good, because I'm not bogus like that. So I'm gonna make sure like okay, obviously I'm gonna rock with my friend, but okay, she good. So we go back to the party. But mind you, that whole night was so weird because my friend was obviously a little, and we was having fun because the Vegas club, it wasn't bad, yo. It was like the experience. It's a nice experience. You got pool parties, you know what I'm saying? You got a pool party, jumping up at nighttime with the DJ. You got a whole atmosphere of like, it's like the Chinese fucking place. I don't even know what kind of Hong Kong shit thing they had going on, but it was so dark and dim in there. But it was like red tone, feeling like it's smoky and things, but it was like a dance floor with you know what I'm saying, all the music and stuff going on. The shit was lit. People lit. We lit. Having fun all night. Hey, 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 because I'm a vibe. I'm a vibe. I'm definitely the vibe when I come up into the room, okay? But point being is that like yes, enjoying ourselves. But then my friend lost. I think he did use his phone or some shit. That was something this nigga lost. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta play damage control again, because that's in my personality ingrained. I'm trying to keep the peace, keep the peace, keep the peace, keep peace. Everything okay? Is everything okay? So we found the phone or whatever was lost. So the next day, we was planning on going to another fuck that one party at night. We waking up to go to the next party. We getting ready to go to the day party. Mind you, brother, sister, still mad. Brother, sister, still mad. Ugh, I'm minding my damn business. I'm not getting in it. Being your name, I'm not in it. I'm not in it. Okay? I can't be in it because it's shit. Oh, I'm not picking no sides. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna waste my energy. Point being though, we go to the freaking day party. The day party lit too. The day fucking party is lit. Hey, day party, day party, day party. Let me tell you why the day party lit. It was a pool party. I forgot what time it was, but point being is that we probably left around like 1 or 2. But we met some people at the pool party because the pool party ended like 3. Point being is that we had met this dude and this girl. And I was kind of telling my friend, like, it's Vegas, so let's have some fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, I kind of like this dude. And she kind of blocking. You know what I'm saying? And not only did I, not did I like him, but I was, obviously something was like attracting me. Like, I was felt like, if I was gonna do something like something that like was done in Vegas, look at that stays in Vegas. Like, all right. She was cool people too. Yeah, shit, like I'm just like I wanted to hang with her, you know. Like she cool people. Like I was. This is how it happened though, because like you know, how you in the pool and you hang with one person and you hang with this person who's playing volleyball and shit, you know, teams and shit. Everybody's just having fun. Nobody's really judging anybody. So it felt like, because you know it's hot as hell. Ain't nobody got time to judge. Bitch, we wearing whatever we want to wear. We ain't wearing nothing. We just having fun, okay? So we was finna hang out with them. So as we was walking back we walked to their car. I'm noticing how I don't like niggas that try to impress you by shitting on their girlfriend. Because though you trying to impress me, you got a whole ass girlfriend right there. Like that's such a turn off that you trying to shit on her to get my attention. Like she was trying to like hug on him, and she told us that they was together for like 2 years, and he told us like what we sometimes or some shit whatever the fuck like what you doing nigga what like what that's the problem. See, y'all gotta make sure that y'all he on another page because he telling you one thing and telling everybody else something else. That's fucked up. That's so fucked up. Not only is it fucked up, but he was actually showing how irritated he was with her because she hopped on his back. Now, mind you, I can see how this could be irritating to a nigga because the way that she hopped on him made him slip his sandal, and it broke. So that made him feel like, what the fuck now? Oh, excuse my language, but now I gotta walk on this hot pavement. He was annoyed, but still, like the way that he was like, you know, like being like trying to like shun her. I didn't like that. So my attraction for him was kind of like definitely dissipating very quickly, very quickly. Even though I should have probably like obviously like not been entertained at all. Because remember I told you I was like very much so the girl like, close that door, close the door. Very much the girl that wouldn't even entertain like a guy that had another interest. Like I said, what happened in Vegas? Like who knows? I might have even gave her some play. Okay. Point being though, the way that he was talking to her, I was like, no. But I still kind of wanted to hang out, like fuck it, you know, like let's go chill, let's go find a drink or something. So we had to stop at the hotel, and my friend suddenly like it was weird because we get out their car, they dropped us off to our hotel. We got the car, my friend getting like annoyed, and it's totally once again left field. And now that I think about it, I recognize that before we left, he was pouring, like he been pouring, he been drinking. But once again, like, he was going off on me as we walking into the lobby, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, first of all, I'm not gonna entertain this right here because that's ghetto, stereotypical. Black people arguing in the lobby. No, I won't be a part of this nonsense. So therefore, you could talk to me when we get to the room, and you could talk to me with some sense. How about that? Okay. So I'm walking to the elevator, not paying no mind to this person belligerently, whatever. I don't know what the fuck's being said because I'm checked out. Now I'm on the elevator, looking straight ahead, checked out. Blase, blase, blah, blah, blah. Blase, blase, blah, 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 blah. Because like this person is still going off. And I'm not understanding like what the fuck the problem is when I'm not gonna do this right here. We can wait till we get to the room. All of a sudden, bitch, I'm introduced to a motherfucking headbutt. I say, are you okay? Because black people don't do that. When did black people start headbutting? Like, what the fuck? Like, we gonna fight. We gonna fight me. But why would you, like, you trying to headbutt me, let me know you literally are trying to hurt and destroy me. Though I did not bleed, not a drop, I didn't have not a headache. I knew in that instantaneous moment that was your final and last straw. Because if we cannot talk and you are trying to physically harm me, that's not going to work, okay? So he goes straight to the room. He like, y'all bitches gotta go. He mad. He letting her know. I don't know what the fuck. She confused because we coming back from the party. He mad. Like he ready to destroy the room. He telling her to get the fuck out. She like, what? They going at it and shit. I'm like, like I said, I'm minding my damn business. I'm just gonna get my shit. I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm gonna get my shit. I'm just gonna pack my shit because you ain't gotta tell me not a motherfucking thing. Not a motherfucking thing, nigga. What? Shit, I'm prepared. I ain't scared. I'm prepared. Okay? He starts attacking his sister. They're fighting or some shit. That's what happened. I went to the bathroom and all of a sudden I hear. I'm like, oh shit, they finna call the police. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? All you hear is. And I'm in the bathroom. So here come the people. What's going on? Anywho, long story short, that's the point right there, right? I recognize, so after we left that trip, it's funny because we had to still get on the same plane. And on the way home, it was so weird how the plane was full, and here comes my ex-best friend and my nice ass talking about some, I guess, like, obviously I'm gonna let him sit have a seat. Um, but I ain't got shit to say. I ain't got what the fuck you gonna say after that? Somebody just literally like, no, I ain't got shit to say. We already knew what it was. So yeah, ever since then, I ain't never talked to that person again. But these are just some of the situations that create the and I've met a few different people, obviously, even in between time, like in passing, and the way that the mentality is in society today, how people take, more importance in materialism and overly sexualizing things, like not really valuing the importance of things. But it's just saying, like, I started to go to therapy. I finally found a counselor that was, to my speed and worked for me. During this time, I learned that, like I said, I already developed my depression, postpartum depression from, having a baby and then having a baby right after that. And then recognizing that everything that you know is not what you really know because everything that you've been told is really a lie. Yeah, that. And then when you show love that people ask for, but they really don't want your love, they really just want to use you. Yeah, that. So I guess I've been like traumatized, but I didn't recognize that I was traumatized because I just kept going, because I was strong. I was always the strong one. So like, yeah. See, PTSD. And even to this day, I'm still like the strong one, the strong one. So I'm such the strong one that I'm a lonely stoner now. I take pride in being the lonely stoner, and that is why I am cultivating, building my courage back up to come on here and to share my stories with you guys and to fill you in on who I am and what I'm about and what we'll be talking about. This channel is going to be random at times. You can see me, obviously before I get so candid today. Like, if you take a look at some of the old videos, I've just done some DIYs. I like to be creative. I love to like spirituality. I love to invest in spirituality. I love to invest in wellness, enrichment. I love to invest in truth, because healing is not healing can't always be what they call linear, meaning that it's not going to be a pretty like, oh, I'm so positive because I'm spiritual. That's what I started to notice too. Like, even the spiritual woke community, they got a lot of fake ass people up in there too. Like, Lord, I don't understand. So you got like a lot of people just like putting on facades and wearing masks, trying to not be themselves because we have to, like, even when you go to work, you have to put on a certain facade to sell a certain type of energy. And it's like always trying to sell yourself. And I've never been a seller, in the sense of like trying to convince somebody of some shit. I don't want to convince you of some shit. I really want you to let me know what the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got to convince you shit. If you want it, you want it. You know what I'm saying? If you want it, I got it. But yeah, like even those type of jobs, like, vector knives, I got trapped into going to one of those interviews. How you think you get in the interview and it comes like, oh, let's sell some knives. Like, I don't know who the fuck's gonna buy some knives. I guess, I should have went to like if I was a hustler, I probably would have went to more of the uppity scale neighborhoods, but I wasn't that much of a hustler. So I don't know who wants to buy these knives. I'm not a seller. I don't like to sell myself. I don't really like to be, like I said, like promoting myself. But that's because I learned how to kind of hide myself because I recognize that this world isn't always safe for the empath or necessarily protective of those who are kind-hearted and caring. And I'm so glad that if you know who Kelly Stamps is, Stampede crew, yeah, Kelly Stamps on YouTube. She is just the most cutest, quirkiest, realest, down to earthest, like it girls. You know what I'm saying? Like she's definitely an it girl. I love her because she just, on another level, realism, though she's very honest about living single, you know what I'm saying? Being free, living single, hey. She's also honest about, like I said, when it's not so pretty. And when people got me messed up and how like the dating pool is so whack. She has a really nice dry sense of humor. It's so funny though. Like, yeah, I can totally relate. Hey there. Today it's beautiful. But yeah, like she just recently inspired me to, stand in my truth again. I'm always in my truth. It's just that I like to protect myself. Um, I don't really like sharing myself now. I had to learn to be protective because, like, when you are too trusting, people take advantage of that. You see how that works? So now I'm scared. But outside of that, though, her being candid about her experience with people in society and how people aren't as loving and kind and generous, and when they are, they're usually doing it out of manipulation. And I'm not sure like if she shared any personal things, but I was just really resonant with how she was just like, yeah, I don't think I really want to be a part of society. Like I don't want to be here. Yeah, I don't really agree either with society. But here we are having to remain positive on this journey, remaining positive because what Mrs. Peaches just said, if you all know the peach patch. And I'm name dropping now because YouTube has been a staple in my life. So I have a lot of YouTube family in my head that I like to hold on to that helps me stay grounded and motivates me. So Peach McEntry, I don't know if you guys know Peach Patch, but point hit it like you like, okay? Point being is like she's also very inspirational because she just stayed real with who she is no matter how much money she got. People expect for her to put on some type of facade to be materialistic. Like, if you got all that money, why you ain't buying better stuff? Like, people are very ignorant and they hold such strong values to things that are not of much importance. And, we all have our things and our preferences and our toxicities. And that's what I'm saying too about us not having to be so like the healing journey isn't going to be beautiful always, right? But yeah, what Peaches was saying is that like that mental health is something very serious. Like your health is your wealth, and especially mental health because this has to be so centered and balanced that whatever outside of there cannot affect you. You have to be literally, not only do you have to be grounded within the earth, you want to be connected within whoever your faith is, whoever you seek the most high, whoever you call upon for your spirituality, whoever you call upon internally for your truth, okay? So you really have to be grounded within, with the earth and with whoever you so see. If you have a higher power, if you don't have a higher power, maybe you call on your ancestors, maybe you believe in those type of spirits, but whatever you do, stay grounded in that, stay faithful and stay hopeful. This journey is definitely not for the faint of heart, and a lot of people are lost in the sauce. So ignorance is bliss. Swear for God, swear for God, ignorance is so much bliss. And that's what I was saying. Like when I was going through my awakening during that 2015, 2016, I'm like, it was so much awareness that I was gaining that I broke down. I was even more heart stricken about how the world was and how much pain is in the world and how are all these things happening and why would they be trying to contaminate our everything, you know? So shit don't make no sense. But yeah, definitely staying grounded within you no matter what's not making sense. Okay. Because you definitely have to tend to yourself and take it easy on yourself sometimes. But society and mental health, sometimes society can be of a hindrance to mental health because of the judgment of others on how you might carry yourself. Like, I remember trying to go back out into the world after having my moment of like, isolation. And like I said, I never really been like, I've been social, but I've never been like out in the streets. So no, people don't know me. And I don't go to bars and things like that. So most of those stuff people know is hearsay because ain't nobody here with me ever. So the fuck do you really know? Um, so with that being said, I started to go out to like poetry nights because I really enjoyed that at the time. But once again, I'm running into like a situation where I was too easy. I think I might be emotionally slutty because like I was invested in something. First, I was like admiring this person, and I was just very much inspired, and I was like driven. I wanted to build some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let's do it, yeah. So that made it inspired me to get my business going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got business. Yeah, okay. So I guess everything's for a reason, huh? This inspired me to get into my business, okay? Because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this and that and other. So I got more story on that. But point being is that sometimes we can be so hopeful for something. Like I told you, I was so whimsical and so hopeful that when you have high hopes, because you're staying positive and you want to make sure that you're staying grateful and everything is so beautiful. Bitch, that bubble got bursted. That bubble got bursted. And I just got annoyed at how like I've always been the strong one and I've always been the support system and I've always been understanding and forgiving and loving and just there for everybody. I didn't never really have the most money. Like I wasn't the one that you would call to give you some money. Though if I had money, you might be able to borrow something. Point being though, it's like I don't ever feel like I've ever had anyone to show me that type of loyalty, nor have I ever felt like anyone truly showed me love. I mean, I know I've been showing some kindness and some compassion and love currently, but I'm talking about love in action. Really, like sometimes you recognize where people were nice to you because they needed you, not necessarily because they wanted to be. So that's a mind F in itself, where society has a certain standards on how we should be and how most people want to fit in with society. So if you're not materialistic, if you're not in with the in crowd, then you're an outcast because you don't think that this stuff is important. You think that you're better than somebody. You think that you're smarter than somebody. Oh, you think that you're nicer than somebody. People are angry. Why are they so angry? Why is everybody so angry, you guys? Oh my God, what's going on? Why is it always an issue? So I had to learn how to kind of break my own scarcity. It's not really scarcity, but I try to make a word out of like being scared of conflict because I had a situation that came to my door. Like I told you, I stayed to myself. But for some reason, this girl, she had an issue with me because her child said I told they ass to get the fuck. Like she said I cussed her out. Mind you, I don't cuss people out. I told her and her friends to stop throwing rocks at my window. And then she got slick. And I was surprised because usually this little girl is very well mannered. She was 12 at the time. So for her to tell me, talking about something, we ain't throwing no rocks at your window. You right here throwing rocks. Go on somewhere with that. Go on, get away from my window with that. I'm talking about some. How you want to tell me what you ain't doing when you literally right here doing it? The nerve that kids be having. So she told her mama whatever the fuck she wanted to tell her mama. Maybe she told her I called her a bitch or whatever. But I think that her mama, I know her mom already had a vendetta against me because, like I told you, I was developing my spirituality at this time. I was actually developed in my spirituality. Like it's 2018, 2019 now. You know what I'm saying? So during this time, that girl and her boyfriend would both talk to me at different times, like about their relationship. And I'll give them both advice. And, I would really hang out with the guy though, because like sometimes in the hallway, like I told you, I didn't go nowhere. So if people were in the hallway, I might step out into the hallway just to say hi, to finally like get some fresh air. And so me and her guy, we were starting to, I'm not like, I don't fuck with nobody, man, nor did I want to fuck with her, man. So I like to talk though. Shit, I like people that actually have a brain. So we were able to connect on his like like he said that like he's been able to see spirits and shit. And so when I talked to him about spirituality, we were able to relate on that. So we had like a certain level of respect to an extent. But we already know where his loyalty lies, obviously, with his girl. Because anywho, she just had some type of like already vendetta because her man could have been interested in me. And that's not my fucking fault. But she wanna fight, bitch. So I'm like, look, if you're not gonna swing right now while we right here in this hallway, ain't nothing for us to be talking about. Cause you keep talking, you keep trying to circle on an issue. I don't really care about all of that. Is it a problem or is it not a problem? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna help you out since you ain't doing nothing. Good day. You know what I'm saying? Have a good day. Close my door. I'm in the house. I'm not gonna entertain no bullshit. I'm not gonna go there with you for no reason, especially. I go in my house. All of a sudden you hear blah 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 boom 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 like the heaviest boom 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 on my door. This bitch done brought another bitch to kick at my door. Now you know that we can't have that. We can't have nobody come into your territory. Nobody can't come into your territory. It's one thing to keep that shit outside, but you had the nerve and the audacity to bring it to my territory. So at this point, I feel like I do have to defend my home. I put my children in the room, tell them don't come out this room. Don't come out this room until I come back. I step outside. What's good? What's up? Long story short, the bitch said that we was gonna do one-on-one. Obviously, you already know that wasn't the case. She took her swing. All right, here come so when she swinged, she back off or whatnot. Here come cousin or whoever fucked this girl that she done picked up. So I tag her because I already got done with her. You know what I'm saying? She was over here. Bah, 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 bah. Then here come the little girl, her daughter. The daughter charged me, yo. Her daughter charged me. A 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl tried to charge at me. So my first instinct, you know how God has granted me that gift of thinking before I act. Lord, thank God for that. Because if God did not grant me this blessing, I would have probably beat her ass. But lo and behold, I just threw her to the ground. I just grabbed her hoodie and just threw it to the ground. Because how dare you, child? Sit down. Just sit down. Sit your ass down. Just the. But anywho, so at that time, that's when I came across, like, before that happened, it's so funny, like I said, God will put things in your path. Because before that happened, it was like a couple days ago. A couple days before it happened that I'm going to be wrapping this up soon. That God had said, he had put me towards this article that was mentioning how when you can't be avoidant of conflict. You can't avoid conflict. You cannot always avoid conflict. You're going to have to deal with some conflict in life. Life is pretty much adversary. So unless you stand up for your fucking self and stop letting people think they can do whatever whenever they feel like it, especially not coming to my door with it. That's what you ain't gonna do. We might be outside, you might be all in my face. I'm not really gonna react. But when you literally like bring it to where my comfort is, no. So anyway, I handled that situation. But yeah, that's why I be choosing to stay to myself because people are very manipulative. People are very um, shallow sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I've met a few. I've met quite a few, nice people before. But most of the time, my relationships don't last because people kind of get like maybe annoyed by my ambition because I always kind of want more for myself. So um, that is annoying to me too. I get tired of having to do so much self improvement, but I do want much more for myself. So I'm going for it. Okay. Even if it's just me, even though I literally lose my mind, I literally lose my mind multiple times. But I'll be filling you guys in on how I lose my mind. And now you guys can be on the roller coaster with me. We're on an emotional roller coaster throughout our life. I can now kind of have like some type of friends to share with because it's hard to like to be alone and not be able to share who you are with people, especially because I'm such a great person. I have so much personality and so much spunk and so much wittiness, and I just want to have fun, but I don't know where to go, and I don't want to give my energy to people that don't deserve it because they'll just kind of try to misuse me. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out my place in the world and whatnot. But at this time, I am feeling pretty comfortable where I'm at because, like, when people mess with your mind mentally, you begin not to even trust yourself. And though I'm very sure about myself, I have been mind fucked for my whole life. Like, we call it gaslit. I'm sorry for keep saying the mind F word. I'm not sure about any restrictions or regulations. But yeah, gaslit is so real. And sometimes people be doing it, they don't even recognize it because it's embedded in our society. It's so embedded in society that you have it in advertising, where people are saying one thing in false in advertising. Like, all natural, naturally GMO. Shut up. Like, cut it out. Like, duh. If the whole whoever run this stuff can lie to you. Of course, people are going to learn how to lie and play you, play the system, play everything. So sometimes you just feel like I'm not a part of all of this um, illusion. Lord, I mean, I didn't. What did I expect? I guess I don't know what my soul expected when I came down here, but I was talking to you guys for 2 whole hours. Wow, mouth is dry. I need some water. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here because Lord, I can't believe I've been here for 2 hours. But you're definitely filled in. If you didn't know nothing now, you know something now. And we'll get back into it on, we can hit this topic again. And I'll slowly develop some comfort with letting you guys know more about myself and how I deal with my mental health and how I make progress on my new buzz cut from 3 days ago. So I did share that with you guys too. We cut our hair. I think that I'm going to be calling myself they too. So I might change my pronoun, but we'll talk about that too. So y'all just bring all my bull crap to you guys. Would you rather be with me and all my boo? Hey, my boo. I'd rather be with you and all your boo. Rather be with you and all your boo. Yeah, okay. So you're gonna rock with me and my boo. That's all I ever ask for. I think that's why I look for loyalty because I always felt like walking on eggshells with people. Like I would never be fully accepted if I did something wrong. So now knowing that I'm going to accept myself even if I do something wrong. What's wrong? But that is kind of hard because if you've been taught to do what's right your whole life because of religion or how things are, it's like I don't know what to do. It's hard to trust myself. Trust yourself through your process. Do what's best for you. Forget the judgment and opinions of others. Like you really have to know yourself so much so that nobody can tell you. And I mean, shit, fuck it. Sometimes you gotta be arrogant asshole like Kanye West. If he is fucking confident, I mean, if look, see, that's what it really is. He's confident. I know that. I know that. But what it is that people, he is very much so confident. He might be a little arrogant, just being honest. Point being, though, he's very sure about himself, so much so that you'll soon learn that he's not as crazy as you think. Most people that are crazy, like the mad scientists, I should make a mad scientist syndrome, the MSS. Because most people that are crazy just have the mad scientist syndrome, where other people don't understand them until they hit something big. And that's when you realize that somebody had went outside of their mind, the box, the perimeters that we were taught to stay in. And they've cracked the code in a sense because they allowed themselves to think outside the box and they allowed themselves to remove that fear. Oh my God, fear. That's a big one too. So once again, I'm going to cut it out there because I could ramble and I don't want to overwork myself and overexert myself. Okay, you guys. So thank you for respecting me. Thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing me to share my journey. I guess now. Thanks to me for being bold enough to share my journey. Hey now. Don't judge me because you will get blocked. No, I just went. I probably won't even feel. Look, if it's negative, I'm really not paying attention to it. That's all I do know. So I hope you know that too. Bye.